As we now know, in the absence of other influences, customers will buy more of something when the price falls and less of it when the price rises. But exactly how much more or less they'll buy is an important question for vendors. Will customers agree to spend a little more for the product they want, or will they take their business elsewhere? Fortunately, we have a way to understand how supply and demand change when a product's price changes, which is called price elasticity of demand. To calculate price elasticity of demand, we use the formula elasticity of demand equals the percentage change in quantity demanded of product X divided by the percentage change in the price of product X. We can break this down further because percentage change simply means dividing the change in quantity demanded by the original quantity demanded, and dividing the change in price by the original price. So we can also express the equation for price elasticity of demand as E subscript D equals the change in quantity demanded of X over the original quantity demanded of X divided by the change in price of X over the original price of X. When you start to do these equations, you'll notice that a complication arises. You can end up with different outcomes depending on how you calculate the changes based on a single demand curve. For example, if a price for a pizza at point A is $10 and at point B is $15, you can calculate the change in price as $5 over $10, or 50%. But if you move the other way, you get $5 over $15, or 33%. One way to resolve this problem is by taking the averages of the two prices and the two quantities. That equation would be elasticity of demand equals change in quantity over the sum of the two quantities divided by 2, divided by the change in price over the sum of the two prices divided by 2. That all sounds complicated, so let's finish our example. Let's say that at $10 per pizza, customers buy 50 pizzas, and at $15 per pizza, they buy 30 pizzas. That makes our equation elasticity of demand equals 20 over 50 plus 30 divided by 2, divided by $5 over $10 plus $15 divided by 2. That simplifies to 20 over 80 divided by 2, or 20 over 40 divided by $5 over $25 divided by 2, or $5 over $12.50. Work it all out and you get 1/2 divided by 2/5, or 5 divided 4, equaling 1.25. This is called the elasticity coefficient. One final note. The elasticity of the demand tells us how a product reacts to the variation in price, and this can be found by analyzing the elasticity coefficient. If an increase in price by 1% leads to more than 1% drop in volume, the product is considered to be elastic. For example, the price goes up by 10%, but the demand falls by 20%. If an increase in price by 1% leads to exactly 1% drop in volume, the product will have a unitary price elasticity. 20% divided by 20% is equal to 1. Finally, if an increase in price by 1% leads to less than 1% drop in volume, then the product is inelastic. Elasticity coefficient is between -1 and 0.